the young guns of New Zealand sprint car racing. In fact, when you work your way through the field, Jamie Duff is one of the older ones, and he's just in his early 30s. Love the look of the sheriff's car. Boy, that thing just looks stealth, doesn't it? It's got a sinister growl to it. So here we go, folks. They go round through the Stadium Finance corner. Pick the pace up. Green flag flies. Levisage got the jump. So it's Matthew Levisage going to lead them down the back straight. Jacob McIntyre in second. Then we go back to Bailey Patterson. The gas man, Steve Duff Jr. He sees a gap. He's going for it. Tries to move Oscar Harcourt across the field. Racetrack has slickened up somewhat. And the Oscar Harcourt goes round. He's the first to lose direction. Yellow's going to come out. Levisage was setting a fair old clip at the head of the field. McIntyre had no answer for him, but Bailey Patterson, super impressive, hanging on to that third spot. Steve Duff Jr. Boy, you could just see him the lap earlier. He saw a wee gap that Oscar Harcourt had left, and the gas man put the foot on the throat and the throttle.
Yeah, so some challenging conditions there, AJ. As you said, the track's getting a little slick on the inside. That start was actually pretty impressive there by Matthew Levisage. He really had to muscle up into that corner. Jacob McIntyre wasn't making it easy for him, but that's the product of confidence, being a 3NZ title holder. It's like, who's going to play chicken? And it was McIntyre that backed off at the very end. But you've got to be brave. That 3NZ car wasn't fired up very easily at the start, so it was certainly a big moment for Matthew to get to the lead. Bailey Patterson, as you said before, he's a real flyer, this guy. He doesn't know where the danger starts and stops, but 5C Bailey Patterson, really exciting to watch that young gun take on that 900 horsepower under his foot.
Yeah, he is, and it's good to see the shadows starting to creep their way across the speedway, being buffeted a little by what's that, an easterly breeze out there, which certainly doesn't help conditions one little bit, but who knows, as the sun disappears and the lights come on, we might just be lucky enough to have the breeze just dissipate just slightly as well. Still circulating under the yellow. Isn't it good to see Jacob McIntyre here? You know, he does have opportunities to race closer to home. It is a big old haul from Invercargill, but he knows where he's got to race to get faster, and certainly the Christchurch guys have dominated the early proceedings on the Southern Series, with Caleb Bourne and the two Duffs really making a big fist of it down there. Here we go, green flag flies again. The Big Mac momentarily had it. Levisage has got the lead again. Look at Dodge rocketing through there. Oh, he turns it around. He just tagged the very back of Steve Duff Jr. Boy, that was a big move. He'd started in ninth and was challenging for third spot.
Well, how impressive was that, Ruapuna? An absolute kamikaze move by Jaden Dodge, and he almost pulled it off, passing about 6 cars down the straight. And he's showing that he's all racy and got plenty of confidence with that car. But as you say, AJ, he just got tagged there a little bit, got onto the slick stuff, and he couldn't control that momentum as it went into the corner. But heck, we've only had a couple of laps here, and it's all happening in front of us.
Well, no completed laps, actually. So, or is it one completed lap? So, yeah, it's a race that doesn't want to get started.
So we know what happens to these guys when they have interrupted racing. The heart rate goes to 200, then it drops back to 100, and now it's probably going to go up to 200 again. So let's see if Matthew Levisage can use his big advantage of being the pace setter here. The Big Mac, Jacob McIntyre, will want to try and get his first corner a little bit better than he did in that last restart. And Bailey Patterson, well, I know him. He's got all the confidence in the world. He will be looking for any gap, any opportunity to biff that car right up the inside. So plenty to play out here, AJ. Let's see how it all pans out.
Yeah, that inside start for Levisage is playing into his hand, because just keep an eye on the first corner, because it's as though McIntyre's got some sort of parity, but he can't clear the front end of Levisage's car, and that's helping Levisage considerably. Good clean start this time. Matthew Levisage, Jacob McIntyre, Bailey Patterson, and the Duff brothers are getting right into, this time Dodge just charged in there, saw the gap. The Coomera is cooked for the 77 car for this race. A little bit of a tip over. There's a top wing going into the rubbish bin. He was carrying so much pace into that corner.
What?
You talk about fearless.
Absolutely, AJ. What has he been smoking tonight, man? That car is flying into the corners. But Jaden Dodge out to prove a point. That car is very, very quick. Probably overdrove it. Obviously, he couldn't control it. Hopefully, he hasn't got any technical errors with the car. Maybe the accelerator staying on or not. But it was a gentle rollover at the end, folks. Fairly spectacular to watch, but there won't be too much damage there. Perhaps the new wing, as you said, though, AJ.
Yeah, it's also great to see that Jaden has joined the Christchurch club this year. He's been a member of Cromwell for several years, simply because his racing number has always been number 7, and Oscar Harcourt's got the 7. But then a few discussions with Jaden, and the 77 very much in memory of the late great Noel Goodwin, who spent quite some time down here, and Jaden was quite close to Noel. He was only a young fella then, and how cool is it to see the 77 machine rocketing around here? You know what, when the track's going to be a little bit heavier at some shows, that thing has got some serious wick.
Absolutely, mate, and certainly got a driver that's got the confidence to put his foot up it. So let's see if Jaden Dodge gets a restart. It would be doubtful. That's a collapsed wing by the looks of things, so he's most likely to go to the infield. But certainly a real gas man is Jaden Dodge, and as you say, 77C, the old late Noel Goodwin's number, being well represented, certainly have a very similar driving style. So Matthew Levisage leading the field out again from the Big Mac 88i, Jacob McIntyre. And Bailey Patterson's done very well at each of these restarts. He's out-muscled the gas man, Steve Duff, and Bailey Patterson full of confidence.
Yeah, not many get to do that. Your Dodge's car also got a flat left rear tyre. Front wing collapsed on the front mount. Yeah, it looks like it's rolling relatively freely.
I often get asked by newbies to Speedway, do they get insurance for that? Nope.
Imagine the premiums. Yeah. And are we going to lose Oscar Harcourt to the infield as well? Or is he just... no, he's stopping there. He may want to check something with the officials. They want them just to actually check something. That's the Value Cars Warehouse, number 7. Of course, Value Cars will be bringing us the next show here, which is the Value Cars Warehouse Carnival and Fireworks Night.
Well, something that does affect our sprint car drivers in this race is the sunstrike that they're going to hit down the back straight there. It's a little frightening. You lose focus there just for a second or so, so spare a moment as they go straight into that sun, which is hitting them about now. Not so bad where it is. It's tough when you've got to go into that corner and you can't quite see the apex of the corner. Good to see Oscar Harcourt. Oh, listen to that angry motor. So Oscar Harcourt's got a restart, which is great to see. And he'll join the pack right beside Jamie Duff, the Alley Art sponsored car. And it looks like we might go racing this time around, AJ.
Yeah, there's some real youth and some real talent in the sprint car ranks here at Ruapuna tonight. The Veggies Direct Canterbury Championship. Another one we forgot to mention before was Matt Honeywell. Let's see if we can get an update on Matt's plans. In the meantime, the other Matt, as in Levisage. It's a ripper of a start. Connor Rangi just struggling a little at the back of the field. McIntyre in second position. Then we go back to Bailey Patterson and Steve Duff Jr. It's Patterson on the inside, Duff on the outside. poised, ready to make a big challenge, is the Duff man, Jamie Duff, in the yellow yard, number 19 car. Duff sees a little bit of dirt up high. He's going to try and make that move from he squeezes through an almost non-existent gap. They're 3 wide down past the Stadium Finance Hospitality area. It was Steve Duff, Jamie Duff and Bailey Patterson all fighting over the same bit of real estate. But it's the gas man, Steve Duff Jr., who emerged victor in that one. Now Connor Rangi's starting to get his mojo back. He's got the Dalton's 57 hooked up and hauling. In the meantime, our race leader, that's in Toyko. 3 NZ. Oh, big wheelie by Patterson. Matt Levisage, he is making mincemeat of them in this the second heat of sprint car action here at Ruapuna. 3 laps to go next time across the NPD 100% fuels start-finish line. Jacob McIntyre in second. The Duff brothers, Steve and Jamie, running there for 3rd and 4th with their good mate Connor Rangi. Stuck there in 5th. Patterson back there in 6th. Oscar Harcourt in 7th. And rounding out the field is Kyle Glover. It's Matthew Levisage. The white flag out next time for him. Boy, he will be happy about this one. McIntyre in second. He's the length of the straight in arrears. Steve Duff Jr. He's had to fight off some challenges. Stuck there in 3rd. Checkered flag flies. Matthew Levisage takes the win. Second place does go to Jacob McIntyre. Steve Duff Jr. in 3rd. Jamie Duff in 4th. And hot on his tail was the 57 Dalton's car of Connor Rangi. Then we go back to Bailey Patterson, Oscar Harcourt, rounding out the field, Kyle Glover. But you got to say, Craig, that Matthew Levisage, flat left front tyre and all, he's going to be pretty stoked with that one.
Yeah, class act by the 3NZ driver, Matthew Levisage. But some pretty interesting moves going on towards the middle of the pack there. The Duff boys really worked over Bailey Patterson. Steve got him and then Jamie did, and Bailey got all out of control, cutting across the infield at times. So just lacking a little bit of setup in that car. But pretty good racing all around, folks. But let's give it up for Matthew Levisage.